Watch out!
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet seems to be the most inclusive Pokemon game when it comes to gender identity. This goes both for your player character, who does not have a set gender identity, and you can put on any clothing options within the game, not that there's that many, but the same goes for NPCs. Even gym leaders look very androgynous, Elite Four members, some of them I was shocked when they used different pronouns from what I expected. So things like that are great for the more free-form gender identity, and I think that's the direction the world is going, and I'm glad that Pokemon is following suit. But, however, apparently, not everyone is so happy about this. A lot of the NPCs in the overworld are very muscular, I guess what people depict as women, and there's some very old men characters in school outfits, which I didn't think was a problem because the game does say that the school is for all ages in this fictitious world, but apparently some people have an issue with that, particularly Japanese players. So let's take a look real quick at that. So this article here is called Japanese Pokemon Players Claim, I don't know why Pokemon is in quotes like that, what the heck? Japanese Pokemon players claim diverse NPCs, lack of skirts in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet prove the series has gone woke. First of all, I hate the way people use the word woke nowadays. Like, woke it was a term made up by the community of color to say, like, stay woke, as in stay alert, stay aware of what is really happening in the world, all the like terrors and horrors in the world that are holding us down. Now people are misconstruing the word woke with some sort of negative connotation, which is weird because if you look up the definition of woke, it's essentially understanding that there are systematic flaws in the system, particularly here in America, that are holding us down and that they need some adjustments. So it's so weird when woke is used in a derogatory way. I just really don't understand it. Anyways, continuing on. In the West, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has gained massive popularity for its more diverse character options, but Japanese fans believe the changes said options are proof that the beloved RPG series has succumbed to wokeness. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm finding it a little hard to believe that Japanese players are using the word woke like that. I don't know. Let's take a look. They have some quotes here, and I don't remember what they said because it's been a while since I've read this article. But ever since its November 18th release for the Nintendo Switch, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has had a rocky start. Yes, this is probably talking about the performance. Yeah, okay, we're gonna skip that. But look, see, okay, so right here, you can kind of see what the NPCs look like. This one right here is a very standard NPC that we see a lot, very androgynous, very gender fluid. And you know, a lot of us think that's great that we have some androgynous NPCs. This one on the left, not so androgynous, or maybe they are, I don't know. But that's the great part, it's all androgynous. You can't really assume anything, which is totally perfect and fine. Of course, the games have not been without its fans, and in the West, a particular point of praise has been Scarlet and Violet's new diverse character design, and a significant divergence from past series. Rather than NPC characters being shown as, on average, youthful and fit, some of Paldea's residents break this trend by being depicted as either extremely old or, in the case of some women, buff and muscular. So yeah, here's another, I mean, he's not that old, but okay. Maybe they have some better examples down here. Not only that, but the game has also removed skirt options for players' personal avatars, instead of relegating both the male and female options to wearing the same style as school uniform. Now, okay, this is something I do have a problem with. And first of all, we only have 4 clothing options, all of which are androgynous. The androgyny part is fine, but the fact that there's only 4 is not fine. You can only customize accessories, which are all gender fluid. And there's not really any real way to express yourself with your outfits. And yes, like something like a skirt would have been nice. And some people are like, well, if you really wanted us to express ourselves and be gender fluid, we could still put a skirt on them no matter what they look like. And I think someone actually makes a point similar to that, as we're about to see. While Western fans have been quick to celebrate these changes up as a victory for representation, their reception has been significantly different in the game's native country. In Japan, players are not exactly happy with what the replacement of the series' regular NPCs with those they describe as ugly and old. Wow. Harsh words. Further, since gender options were removed from Sword and Shield, Japanese Pokemon fans have speculated that the removal of skirt options indicates that developer Game Freak has chosen to sell their souls to the political correctness in an effort to expand into overseas markets. Who wrote this? Bounding into Comics. This is boundingintocomics.com. And I can't tell. It seems like they're writing this in a way that like they themselves also view it as a negative. I don't like this. It's saying they sold their souls wow, I cannot talk. They sold their souls to political correctness. Like, it's not political correctness. It's just the way life is. Animals don't have this kind of prejudice problem. It's just humans. We need to get over it. We really need to get over it. It's not political correctness. It's just accepting people for who they are around you. They're not hurting anyone. They're not hurting themselves either. Just let us live our lives, you know? I don't like the way they worded this, so this might be a biased article. However, you know, it's hard to find stuff that's not biased. Like, almost every news depiction is biased in some way, shape, or form. It'd be lying to tell you that there's actually neutral news articles for anything. So, on the issue of NPCs, Muscle Angel. That tells you a lot about this person. Their @ is Muscle Angel. Asserted via Deep Low, I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's diversity or what, but you can't dress an old mob trainer in a uniform and call him a student if he's a quirky old mob trainer. Why not? I don't understand. I really don't understand the argument there. Why can't you do that? What is wrong with that? Someone, if you want to try to explain that to me in the comments, I mean, we're probably gonna swarm on you like vultures, but go ahead, feel free, try to explain that in the comments in a way that does not sound bigoted. I can almost guarantee it's gonna sound bigoted. We can see all we need to right here. Like, look at their profile picture. They're obviously very attracted to a certain type of body. So they're mad that everyone's not fitting this mold, or that there's no characters that fit this mold here, which is crazy. I know you're trying to say that age has nothing to do with learning. Okay, they acknowledge that. The user continued, but it's really hard to be so blatant. I mean, the target audience is children, right? If a child sees something like this, she will be confused, of course. Wow. No, not confused. Why would they be confused? There's nothing to be confused about. Gender does not matter. It does not matter. What you are attracted to and what your gender is totally up to you. It's not, again, it's not hurting anybody. It's not causing any sort of impact on anyone else whatsoever. That's all it is. It's not going to confuse anyone. People know what they like. Is it confusing this person? No, I don't think so, right? They very much know what they like. They very much know what they want to look like. So there's no harm being done. There's literally no harm being done. That crazes me when people give this argument about, like, you're going to confuse them. So here's the older students that they have a problem with for some reason, which, by the way, like, I remember talking to the one on the right here, and it was actually, they had a funny story. I forgot what it was, but, like, I was just simply entertained by their story, you know? Like, there's nothing bad here. There is nothing bad here. Also, like, the whole target audience of Pokemon games and Nintendo games being kids is such a myth. I hate that argument as well. Pokemon games and gaming and Nintendo games are not specifically for kids. They're made for all ages, meaning anyone can pick up and enjoy them. Anyone. No one's gonna get confused. Everyone's just enjoying video games. So, let's continue. In a follow-up, Muscle Angel questioned, oh, did they ever? Isn't it diversity to have schoolboys, cute girls, hot uncles and aunts, beautiful ladies, normal boys, normal girls, normal uncles and aunts, bearded uncles, characters with unique hairstyles, and many more? Okay, I see what they're saying here. Like, sure, more diversity. People that fit these, I guess what we would call gender norms, do exist too, obviously. I don't think there's not characters like that. I've been seeing zaddies in the game. They're all there too. I don't know what this person's talking about. Look at Nimona. Nimona fits the gender norms. And then what people call pretty or attractive is completely subjective as well. So a lot of people are down bad for these muscular women. A lot of people are down bad for these androgynous gym leaders and Elite Four members. Like, again, no confusion. People just like what they like. They want to be what they want to be, and they're just doing it. And Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is showing that in full force. And I cannot believe people have an issue with this. Is being at the mercy of a big, ugly subject matter political correctness for Pokemon, they concluded. Political correctness is one of those terms that doesn't actually mean anything. Politics, does not actually mean anything. You know what politics is? Politics is life. That is what we are living day to day, moment to moment, what we're paid at work, what we are doing with our lives, how we go out, if we're safe when we go out from guns. Like, that is life. People try to say you want to make a political issue out of this, out of racism, out of prejudice, out of gun safety. It's not a political issue. It's a life issue. Saying that something is political is a cop-out. Sorry to break it to you. So, to conclude their statement, they asked if political correctness is for Pokemon, and since political correctness doesn't mean anything, I'd like to say that yes, what Pokemon is doing is for Pokemon. It's for everyone. We're all living it day to day. Most of us are totally fine with letting people live their lives the way that they want to live, as long as it's not harming anyone, including themselves. Okay, so someone else wrote, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has only ugly characters. Bree Si declared. The female characters are ugly, haggard, and lumpy. Too many black... No, they did not. They said there's too many people of color. The male characters' character designs are disgusting, psychopathic, and filthy. What? Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is how you say that you're racist without saying that you're racist. I can't believe this. And then prejudice against age, apparently. Like, okay, apparently no one gets old anymore. That's the fantasy world these people live in, or the one that they want to live in. I'm sorry, not everything fits your perfect fantasy world when there's real life, and this is more reflective of real life, but not in a bad way. It's reflective of real life in a positive way, if you ask me. Just showing diversity. Wow. You can't really gauge anything by this person's profile picture here, but I mean, it's a girl hugging a frog. So you would think this person would be more kind and loving, maybe be accepting of those around her. Maybe, well, I'm assuming this is a female. I don't know. But I'd assume that they would be more, you know, respectful and caring of the people around them. And apparently not. So like, hug frogs all you want, but you're definitely a very mean person. Look at what they said. They said the mobs are all trashy and ugly because they sold their souls too much to political correctness. Wow, what is with everyone in using this term? I hate it. And there are almost no beautiful, cute, fresh, good-looking mobs to feast your eyes on. What's a mob? Why are they saying mobs? Anyways, wow. This is completely subjective. Completely subjective. I can't believe that they're acting like they're talking for everyone else. I hope so bad that people just tore these people to shreds in their comments. I really hope so, in like responses to these tweets. Sharing an in-game selfie of themselves with an older student trainer standing, not the way they put a quote around student, trainer standing behind them. Yaki Norio 2021 sarcastically asserted, "Don't laugh at him. He's not a pervert, but a person who will be a natural part of future society that embraces diversity." This is the picture. So you're saying we should mock people for wanting to get an education at an older age? Because I hate to break it to you, but that has existed in real life for a long time. College exists, and you want to know something about college, you can get into college before you finish high school. Those are minors in a school with adults, and sometimes pretty old adults. It's kind of a norm, and in other countries besides the US, this is even more of a norm. There's even more boundaries broken in that regard. So I can't fathom that people have such an issue with this. I really can't. Complaints against the game's removal of skirts were equally as widespread. In Pokemon Sword and Shield, male and female was not in the gender setting of the character creation section, said Arlub-C9, but she was wearing a skirt. I think skirts should be in the game, but I'm not sure what point this person's trying to drive home quite yet. In Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, however, skirts have not appeared since the beginning, they said. It's a blatant restriction and it's already politically correct. Bro, not the way that they're saying politically correct again. These are all like handpicked by this website, I'm telling you. I will iterate. It seems like these people are in the minority, because I saw more articles talking positively about the gender identity of the characters in Scarlet and Violet. But at the same time, I found this article. I thought this was so interesting. So that's why we're going over this. They preferred this, which is so funny to me. This is proof they're in the minority. They preferred this at the beginning of the game to us like literally creating our character right off the bat. When most of us were like, why doesn't Pokemon just give us a character creation option at the beginning? And they finally did. And now there's a small vocal minority that is saying that this right here was better. I am so flabbergasted. I can't believe it. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is a lot of fun, but why did they degrade the dress-up function so much? Currently, there are no skirts, long hair, or any other girly elements. What do they mean there's no long hair? There's literally an option called long hair in the game. There's several long hair options. I don't know what they're talking about. Didn't gender-free originally start from people wanting to dress the way they want regardless of gender? That is a valid point. Again, that's what I said earlier. That is actually a valid point. You should be able to dress your character however you want. However, they only have 4 options in this game and they're all school uniforms. So that already in itself limits us. So that's just a whole separate issue from this whole gender identity thing though. Just the lack of clothing options is a separate issue. What are you going to do if you take away from people who want to wear skirts regardless of gender? Again, valid point. That is very valid. It's weird that 0 of the characters wear skirts, exclaimed Hamati. I'm glad the NPCs don't, because I would be more jealous that they have more options than us, but I already am more jealous because they already do have more options than us. A lot of the characters and NPCs in the game have like normal clothes, but we're just relegated to only school uniforms, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. Speculating that the skirts were removed so you can't take a peek at girls' underwear with the free camera, the user ultimately declared, "I can't forgive Game Freak." I don't think that's the case because I know this is probably a joke, but if anyone seriously thinks this, I don't think that's the case because the camera doesn't even go up there, I don't think. From what I remember, the camera doesn't get close to the characters at all, which was an issue that I have with the game actually. And you can't even go into like first person mode or anything. Like the camera stays pretty far away, no matter if you have it on the like extra zoomed out mode or like the normal zoom mode. So yeah, this whole thing just seemed like a hit piece on the gender fluid identities of characters in Scarlet and Violet, which is, as I'll say, like I've said a million times, absolutely bonkers. This is so crazy to me. Now, what do you guys think about this? What were your thoughts on what these people had to say? What are your thoughts about the NPCs in the game? Let us know down in the comments. This will be a very interesting discussion. And while you're at it, go ahead and catch up on the channel with more of my videos, including this one here, where Dusty Go-Goat and I talked about how Scarlet and Violet could learn a thing or two from Pokemon Legends Arceus. And it's really just a big comparison of the two and what each of them did right and what each of them did wrong by comparison to each other. I've been Johto Jonny. Enjoy.